Welcome, everyone. I'm Terry McGill. I'm in Portland, Oregon, and I can see from the names and the faces that I know you're scattered all around Oregon and everywhere else. So tonight, well, my picture, my face looks fuzzy. Yeah, that's okay. The mountains behind me are clear. So this is the love month. This is February. And even though it's all just the 3rd, Valentine's Day is coming up. And yeah, the stores have been full of heart-shaped candy boxes and candies for quite a while. So to start this month, this evening is about opening more to love. And self-love is the focus for tonight. And I'm going to offer 2 different demonstrations. They're free gifts for, and I'll tell you more about that later on. So everyone that's attending, at least I know, and let's see, are we on Facebook? If one of our people in the background could put us on Facebook, that would be nice too. And then maybe post the bit.ly link there. So if they wanted to come online. It's interesting, my face is blurred. We're live stream. Wonderful. So let me click on got it. There we go. So I'm curious why the image behind me is very clear, but I look good to Sharon. Okay, I'll quit worrying about it then. So welcome everyone on Facebook, wherever you are around the world, Tacoma, wherever. When we don't have the life that we want, you may have read in Dr. Rulin Shu's book, Divine Love. What she received was it's because we haven't accepted the love of the divine. So there are many different words that people have used for centuries, for millions of years. So whether it's Yahweh, Allah, God, Tao, universal consciousness, whatever it is. In fact, I love this one term from India, Tattvam Asi. It means that which is. Let's not put a name on it, it's just that. And Lao Tzu in the Tao Te Ching, I love what he says, that it's bigger than biggest, smaller than smallest, no shape, no form. Words can't describe it. So we try to describe it, but nowhere near enough. Anyway, it's because we haven't received that love. To me, I had a realization a couple of months ago. I was watching, I had seen different pictures. My mind just kept being drawn to pictures of vegetation against all kinds of odds thriving. And you've seen what we call weeds or grass or anything coming up through a crack in a sidewalk. I was down in California decades ago, and birds of paradise flower were growing out of, seemingly a little patch of dirt that couldn't support anything that tall or beautiful. So what is, to me, love is life force. And life force is something that every living being has, but we don't know it. So we don't know what it is. And I don't know about you, but I grew up not believing that I was worthy to receive love. Certainly not what I wanted. So we have limiting beliefs. I've certainly discovered, a few thousand of my own. And why are these limiting beliefs able to block us? What makes them so powerful? they're in our unconscious. And you may have read or heard that, we're only maybe 5% conscious. The rest of us is unconscious. And think about it. If you have a team of 8 horses and they are all hooked to the wagon that you're in, but they aren't hooked together, they can be pulling in 90-degree different directions. And so that's a strain on the horses. But it also makes the wagon driver work really hard. So here's a story that I was just up in my face, and I've been thinking about it thinking about that. My son is now 30 years old. When he was 4 years old, he only wore shoes that had Velcro fasteners. That was so easy for him. It was easy for us because we didn't have to keep tying and retying his shoes. And at 4 years old, he'd gone to summer camp, and he came home one day and he said, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy, Joey can tie his shoes." And then zoom, he was off, chasing the cat or looking to see where Bruno, the dog, was, or getting a snack, and then zoom, he's back. He said, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy, can you teach me how to tie my shoes?" Like, well, of course I can. Big daddy said, "Of course I can. I'll help you all I can do." And then zoom, he's off again. I'm going, well, that was quick. But he couldn't tie his shoelaces. But up until that moment of awareness, and we've had those, you've had them, I know you have. All of a sudden, it's like, wow, there's something I wasn't even aware of, or maybe it was there all the time, and I just didn't get it. So he got it. And, so over the next few weeks, think about tying your shoelaces. I hadn't remembered how many steps there were. And then training the fingers to do it. Excuse me. So there are 4 levels of competence. First is unconscious incompetence. Now, this is just a description. This is not judging anybody. We're not aware, and so we can't do it. He didn't even think about tying shoes, and he couldn't tie shoes. So then he saw Joey, and he went to the second level, conscious incompetence. Now, at 4 years old, you don't beat yourself up. You say, "Daddy, Joey can tie his shoes." And then zoom, you're off to something else. But then you come back, and "Daddy, can you teach me how to tie my shoes?" So then began level 3. Level 3 is conscious competence. So, I was surprised how quickly he learned it. He learned it quicker than I did. He learned how to focus, how to coordinate fingers of both hands and, the ends of shoelaces, and tie his own shoes. And then he moved into level 4, unconscious competence. Now, I'm going to bet that every one of you drive a car, maybe a motorcycle, but let's just stick with cars for the moment. How often do you think when you see the light turn yellow about, okay, I need to take my foot off of the accelerator and place it on the brake pedal? We don't do that. We've gone beyond conscious competence. And now we're running on unconscious, unconscious competence. He got to where he could tie his shoes blindfolded. And he showed me one day, like, whoa, okay. So what does competence have to do with love and the divine love? Because self-love, he had it at age 4. When he saw that Joey couldn't tie his shoes, it was like, oh, wow, look at that. It was that discovery thing. I remember when he discovered those multicolored caterpillars. Remember those, the fuzzy ones? And when they scoot along, their backs will sometimes go up. And I remember I discovered, as he was being a child and growing up, I rediscovered the child in me. And I'd had a psychic tell me that was going to happen before he was born. And it really did. So, and for those of you who might have gone to Christian churches and heard this verse, except you become as a little child, you cannot enter the kingdom of God. Well, talk about conscious incompetence. I heard the verse for years, decades. I had no idea what it meant until the last several years. So what does it mean? Self-love, and how does that relate to except you become as a little child? Well, we have to let go of shame and blame. If you've worked on self-discovery, you know how big a challenge that is. I don't know about you, but I grew up in Southern Baptist territory. And if you don't know about Southern Baptists, the true ones, their women don't wear lipstick. If there's a deck of cards in the house, you're going to hell. If the preacher comes by, he'll tell you that. So it was really strict. And so let me share the 5 steps to change. And you might want to take notes. Or if you do, if something strikes you, if you don't write it down, you won't remember. I know. Or at least the odds are really slim. And I'll tell you why. We have something that the psychologists call right now I can't remember it. It'll come to me. So there is a psychological law that an organism seeks to expend the least amount of energy to maintain a stable state. So if from the time that we become consciously incompetent, we're going to be around people who judge. And we hear judgment all the time. And it's really, really subtle now. I was looking at a billboard ad the other day and I went, whoa, that's a pretty negative message. And, 5 years ago, I wouldn't have realized it. So the 5 steps to change. What did Brian do? What happened in his life to move from unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence? So the first step is we have to become aware of something that we were not aware of. The second thing is, if we want to change, we have to have a desire. His was come and go at first. Daddy, 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 can you help me tie my shoes? Yes. Zoom, he's off. He got his yes, and he did come back. And he kept coming back. And then he became consciously competent. So that's step 3. He discovered the tools. I taught him what you have to do with your fingers on both hands and those both ends of the shoelaces. So step 1 is to become aware. Step 2 is we have to desire to change it. And step 3, we have to discover the tools for the change that we want. And that's tricky because in the self-help, there's a lot of books out there and videos and memes and Twitter, you name it, on self-help. Some of them, not to be judgmental, but I haven't found them really effective. So number 4, or excuse me, we're still on number 3, the ability. We have to not, so this is 3A and 3B. 3A, we have to discover the tools for the change we want, but 3B is they have to be the right tools, the best tools. Now, I'm a tool junkie. I was just in Home Depot today, and I found myself looking at all the neat power tools they have and what they can do. It's like, wait a minute, I don't do that stuff anymore. I don't need those. But they, I'm still, woo, look at that. Look what it can do. So we want to discover the correct tools. And then step 4 is a slang term here. For those of you that weren't raised around cars like me, it's called where the rubber meets the road. You've got to use the tools. You've got to turn the wheel. You've got to do the work. Incidentally, if you want the best book, you see how close it is? The best book I have seen is called, well, you can't see it. You might see a little bit of the title. There we go. Yeah. Stephen Pressfield, Do the Work. This, you can see how tiny this book is. Well, you can't tell how long it is, but you know it's not very thick. Do the Work. It's a great book. I've got it that close to me. It's like, what, 6 inches further than my hand can reach. So we have to do the work. And there are, Stephen, that book is so powerful. I've recommended, I don't know how many people. I've been using it myself. Why? We have unconscious blockages. It's the power of the unconscious. There's all these terms that I'm remembering, but I can't remember them. But there's a couple of neat ones out there. So here's why we don't change, regardless of how much effort that we put into it. Number 1, there's 3 different terms: negative information. That's Dr. Rulin Shu and the Tao science term, negative information. We have got stuff in our unconscious that says, if you do that, you will die. If you do that, you will be embarrassed. If you do that, some of them are positive. If you do that, you'll get rich. If you want to get rich. Yeah. So negative information, or, I grew up pop psychology. So it was bad programming. I had all these unconscious programs, and I went through so many self-help courses. Another term is bad karma. So that's the major reason that we don't change. The second thing is, when we know about the negative information and negative karma, the tools that we have are not powerful enough. I watched a video the other day of a guy loosening the bolts that hold the wheel on an off-road vehicle. He had a wrench. I'm serious. The handle on it was 4 feet long, because he had to put all of his weight on the end of that fulcrum to get that bolt to turn. So we have to have a powerful enough tool. And you may have heard the term permanent downloads or transmissions. Permanent treasures is another term that I've heard a lot. So that's a very good way if we use them. But what I found after having received 15 or 20 was I didn't use them because I had blockages. So the way around that is, number 3, why we don't change, or the way to get around it, is we can receive the energy without doing the work ourselves. And one term is a light transmission. Another term is a blessing. And I'm going to offer 2 demonstrations tonight and I'll send the light transmissions, the blessings for those. So tonight, I invite each of you. Let's see what time we go. Oh, we're doing great. It's only 15 minutes after 7. I talk fast. So pick a number, choose a number. Let's see how many of us. There's only 20 of us here. Great. let's make it, no, let's stay with 1 and 100. Pick a number between 1 and 100. And while you do that, I'm going to write down, okay, the first number that came to me, I didn't, my mind said, that's not right. Actually, it wasn't my mind. Okay, so I've written a number down. Now you, Ping Ping's already got a number in there. And there's another number from Egard. And while you're writing your numbers down, I'm going to drink. Oh, and if you can't post, I know some of you are on cell phones, and I can't post a number from a cell phone. I'll just fess up. So if you would like to unmute, I'll write your number down. So let me look over in the chat box. Already we got 18 posts, and wow, a whole bunch of numbers. Let's see if there's any more, any higher up there. Oh, yes, there are. Wow. Do I see 277s? I do. So Kat and Quincy both have 77. So if they're the closest to this number or right on it, then both of them will receive the blessing. And speaking of the blessing, what is it? Well, the first one is actually 2 blessings, because when they came to me about a week and a half ago for this one client, what I realized later when I thought, well, let's offer them tonight, because man, they're absolutely powerful. So think of Brian and tying his shoes. He had unconscious, well, he was just unaware. So he had unconscious incompetence. Well, some of us have, let me think about how to say this. We have negative programming. We have unconscious beliefs that block us. And since they're unconscious, how do you fix them? Well, the first of these 2 blessings is to become more aware of unconscious beliefs. And because I don't want to leave you with just knowing what's wrong, like, why can't I? Well, you got this. Well, wait a minute, don't go away. Okay, so the second part of it is a blessing to allow those beliefs to shift more easily. Now, those words aren't from Terry's mind. They partly came through my mind, and then it was like, that's not right. Change that word. Change that word. So allow those, a blessing to allow the beliefs to shift. And the word shift was not the word I originally put in. More easily. So, I just want to share with you that the power of a blessing is in what is the blessing. The words are so important. So the first is unconscious beliefs, to become more aware. And the second is to allow those beliefs to shift more easily. Now, there's an awful lot of numbers there, and it looks like everybody that's here has, oh, and if you're watching on Facebook, I'm sorry, I don't have an easy way to do this. I mean, I don't even know how to make it work. So let me ask our helpers in the background, do the people on Facebook, have they seen the link, the bit.ly link?
They have, Terry. Yeah, I sent them the link. And if they do post any numbers in the chat, I will just let you know and put it in the Zoom chat for you that it came from Facebook.
Super. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I want to tell you, these are volunteers, and they're making this work. These Friday nights, they don't happen by accident. It doesn't just, not just one person. So tonight, if our background crew, so let me see who's here tonight. I heard Holly and I hear Sharon. I see Sharon, Holly, Sharon, and Paula. Oh, great. All right. The three of you, if you would like, because I'm not going to send a blessing you don't want. They're Dow hands blessings. So they'd be powerful. So if you would like, just speak up and say, Holly, yes, or Holly, no. Actually, if you don't speak up, then I won't send it, but I'm going to transmit it when I transmit it to the one or two who will be the demo person.
I would love that, Terry. Thank you very, very much. And it's
So
very
that was Holly. There's a yes.
Thank you.
Vanita,
Yes.
are you part of our crew tonight?
Me too. That was Sharon.
Sharon, yes. There's two of you.
Yes.
And Paula, yes.
Paula's the third one.
Thank you,
Vanita, are
Terry.
you working tonight?
I just got a bit free for about 40 minutes. I'm with you, Terry. Sorry. I'm so happy to be here. So grateful to see you smiling with
Okay,
a
I just
lovely red
checked.
shirt.
I just checked, and you get if you would like it, you get it too.
Wow, I don't even know what it is. I just logged in. Thank you.
Okay, so the first is a twofer. Two for the price of one, except in the demos are free, and there's more demos than I thought. So it is to become. Well, you didn't hear the story about Brian. Geez. So we have. Let me review for folks. So when my son was 4, he didn't know how to tie his shoes. He had Velcro. They just bloop, you stick them together. So he came home from day camp and I'll keep it short. And he said, Daddy, 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 Joey can tie his shoes. And I went, wow, wonderful. And then zoom, he was off. But he came back and he said, Daddy, can you help me tie my shoes? So the 4 levels of competence, he went from unconscious incompetence. He couldn't tie his shoes. He didn't know anything about tying. He wasn't aware. It didn't matter. So he went from unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence. The good news was he didn't have any judgment about it, and I sure didn't judge him. He's just like, Daddy, can you help me tie my shoes? Learn how to tie them. Like, sure. Oh, cool. He didn't say, oh, cool, back at 4 years old. But so he went from level 1 to level 2, and then I began to help him go to level 3. Level 3 is conscious competence. He learned how to tie his shoes. And then he showed me one day, about a year later, he says, Daddy, I can tie my shoes with my eyes shut. And he did. Not as good a job as with his eyes open, but he did it. Yeah. So those are the 4 levels of competence. To change, and this is a reason for this first blessing, and second one too. Actually, the first 2 and then the next. So to change, number 1, we have to become aware. We have to become conscious of what we haven't been. Number 2, we have to have a desire to change it. Daddy, 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 can you help me tie my shoes or learn how to do it? Like, yeah, sure. So then number 3, we have to have the ability. We have to discover the tools for change. So I showed him that you have to grab each end of the shoelace on the same shoe, not one end on one and one end on the other, or you're going to trip. So I taught him how to tie, and he practiced it. And so that's number 4. You got to do the work. And Vanita, if you didn't see it, I'll show it up for everybody to see it again. This is Stephen Pressfield, one of the best books for going through blockages that I've ever seen. I've been around for a week and a half looking at these books. Do the Work by Stephen Pressfield. It's a great book. So he did the work. And, in a year, he could tie his shoes blindfolded. I tell you this short little story. He got a basketball scholarship to college. I mean, the kid he didn't practice as much as I thought he should, but he had unconscious talent. And if you've watched 50 basketball games especially in high school, you will have seen somebody lose a shoe. Either it came untied or it wasn't tied tightly enough and somebody stepped on the back of it and they ran out of it. He never lost a shoe. He was really good at tying his shoes. So that's step 1, 2, 3, and 4. Did you know that if you got on Hawaiian Airlines in the San Francisco airport to fly to Hawaii, did you know 1,500 miles, more or less, did you know the airplane is off course 97% of the time? When I heard that, I went, no, don't tell me that. So I didn't know, but I learned they have a flight engineer on board every 15 minutes. His job is to say, Captain, come right 15 degrees to 303. So they do a course correction. And so that's step 5 in change, the 5 steps to change. We can't do just 1, 2, 3, 4 unless it's a simple little job. If it's a big deal, if it's complex, if it's going to go on for a while, stuff changes, life changes. So we need to make course corrections. I know Vanita knows it, every CEO out there knows you've got to have feedback, you better pay attention to it, and you need to correct something that's not working like it used to, because that's life. Yeah, I just found out that Zoom has what's called a whiteboard. And if you look down at the bottom of your screen, over on the right-hand side to the right of apps, it says whiteboards. It is turned off. And the reason that you turn it off is so that somebody doesn't put something across your face that you don't want to see and you don't want your audience to see. It's called Zoom bombing. Yeah, that's one of the ways that it can happen. Okay, so let's go back to what are these 2 blessings? The one is to become aware of unconscious beliefs. If we don't know that there's a landmine in our backyard, we can step on it and blow our leg off. I apologize for the grossness of that. But part of my background, I grew up I was in the Army. I threw hand grenades and worked a flamethrower. It was, yeah, which is why, anyway, we won't go there. So that's the first one, become more aware of unconscious beliefs. The second one, yin and yang, don't leave me hanging. So once you become aware of them, the second belief, and you have to have them both. You can't get just one. That was already asked by our crew in the background. They said, well, what if they want just one? I will not give just one because it will imbalance the ship. It's like a teeter-totter. There's 2 people, 2 kids, one on each end, and one jumps off. I had that happen to me. And I was young and dumb, and boom, I hit the ground really hard. So I'm going to keep your teeter-totter balanced. The second blessing is to allow those beliefs to shift more easily. All right, so I'm going to ask our crew now, someone, to, oh, you need to know what my number is, don't you? 81. So who, or I know 2 people, at least 2 people had the same number. So who is closest to 81? Did anybody pick 81?
Yes, Loveness did.
I'll be darned, there it is. That's
Thank
about
you.
the second time in a month or 2 that Loveness has picked the exact number. Congratulations, Loveness.
Thank you.
I see you're unmuted.
Oh,
Did you hear all of it?
I heard you. Yeah, can you hear me?
Barely.
Oh, I don't know what's happening with my speakers then.
That's okay. I can hear you good enough.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for choosing me and divine.
Well, I didn't choose you. You chose you.
The divine through you. Okay.
So did you hear what the two blessings are?
I didn't understand it, I guess.
Great. Okay. So for the rest of you, I was surprised how many people put their numbers in. Wow. So these are available, and one of our background helpers will let you know, and there are country discounts also. We'll let you know what the honor fee is if you would like these. But first, let's offer the blessing. So Vanita, Paula, Holly, and there's Paula twice, okay, and Sharon will receive with loveness. So I'm going to turn on my Tao hands. I'm going to ask them to turn on. And I would invite all of you, if you know about the flash, or if you haven't, if you know it, you know it. So for those of you who don't know what the flash is, you can receive, because this is just a flare of light. So think about the sun. Does the sun shine on Pluto and Mars too? And the Earth? And all the asteroids? The sun is indiscriminate. So this is a Tao blessing, and it's going to go to these 5 people, or both of them actually. It's going to go to these 5 people, but the sunlight, the flashlight, that's why we call it a flash, is going to go everywhere in, in our solar system, and you're in the solar system. I'm having fun. So the way to receive it is connect. Now, how do we connect? The best way is to close your eyes, stop doing anything else. You're unmuted. I mean, your camera's on, Linda, so I can see you're having dinner. Late dinner. Linda's in New York or Washington, D.C. or somewhere. So if you close your eyes, and then, and this is for those of you that are not receiving and receiving, then open your heart chakra. And how do we do that? Dear my heart chakra, I love you. If you haven't heard, the heart chakra is a center for transformation of all life, everything. So dear my heart chakra, I love you. Please open and receive everything that's appropriate for me at this time. Thank you so much. And then imagine that you are, pick a planet, and the sun, when I send the blessing will go for 1.5 minutes. I was checking my spiritual pendulum. So where's my phone? There it is. I've got to make sure that I do this correctly. Oops, I want the stopwatch. Okay. So everyone prepare. And I'm going to do a silent invocation for the levels of Tao hands that I have, and whichever ones or combination is appropriate. So thank you so much. So please send as appropriate to these 5 blessings for 1, becoming more aware of unconscious beliefs, and 2, allowing those beliefs to shift more easily as appropriate. And for all those who are receiving the flash, just please say, let me receive what's appropriate. Blessing begins. And what I'm seeing is, I'm surprised, but I haven't done a blessing on an evening like this with this many people for quite a while. But there's just an immense amount of light. To me, it looks like it's just appearing. And then there's 5, there was not a shooting star, whatever it was, a comet, I think, a green comet or something, went through visibly to us like the last several days. So what I'm seeing is there's 5 points of that are larger glowing points of light, and the rest is just an increase in light. So each of you that are not the 5 primary recipients will be receiving as much as is appropriate for you and as much as you open up to receive. Bing. That was 1 minute, 30 seconds, and 23 hundredths.
Hi, Terry. Did you receive my request to receive? This is Gloria.
We aren't doing the transmission for those of you who desire to honor. These were the from the demonstration, and the 5 that are supporting the webcast. So we're going to do this again.
Okay, thank you.
And boy, that was a lot of power that went through me. I got to get grounded. So those of you who received, what was your experience? Just unmute. If you can talk.
Hi, Terry. It's Holly. I thank you very much. I feel super, it was like instant relaxation came over me, and all my thoughts disappeared for just a few moments. And even though I'm working, so that's really kind of cool, because you know your mind's working and that's what you're doing. But yeah, instant relaxation, and I just feel like peaceful joy. So it's really very lovely. And I'm sure over the next week, I'll become more aware of any unconscious beliefs and things of that nature. And then I'll be able to shift them better. So thank you.
Thank you, Holly, for sharing. Anyone else care to share? Benita.
Yes, hi Terry. Yes, yes. So it is so beautiful, Terry. I'm still feeling the light, and it's very powerful, Terry. Congratulations to you. So thank you. I think I'm taking a blessing from you for the first time, and I'm so grateful to heaven to allow me to experience your beautiful, you know, what do I say? Your power, the heavens teams that you have. They're obviously amazing. Your Thou hands, no wonder, you know, you do such a great
Well,
job with Thou hands. Your
You know,
Thou
this
hands.
is not Terry giving the blessing. This is
Exactly.
the power of
Exactly.
the Tao coming through.
Yes, yes. But your Thou team, your Thou hands, that's what I just said, that it just shows the Thou hands teams that you have, like the heavens teams that you carry with you. It was just amazing. I can't thank heaven enough. And these are like mystical ways. I just logged in, and this just came in my lap, and you asked to open your heart, and I was doing that while I was receiving. And I'm still like just wanting to close my eyes and just keep receiving the light. So beautiful, Terry. It was really nice. I'm really, 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 really super grateful to heaven, to Master Shah, and to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Vanita. Does Sharon or Paula care to share? Don't have to, because I know you're working. And I know a couple of people have posted. Quincy felt the heat flash towards the back right of his heart chakra with a planet some planet reflecting light. Cool. Somebody else started to speak. Go ahead.
That was me. I wanted to say thank
Loveness. Yes, I forgot. You received also.
Thank you. So I wanted to say the moment you told us to connect and think of the planet, and what I just started to see was this beautiful planet that is not known to any of us, but And then I asked what planet it was. I was told the planet is called TND Renheyi. So it was like heaven and earth planet, and there is humans living there in harmony. So that's why it was called TND Renheyi. And it was beautiful, a lot of purples and almost like peacock colors, but that have purple and gold and green, and but in the form of peacock feathers, beautiful, of everything that's in that planet. Very green at the same time, a lot of green, lush lands, and in some ways, it's a reminder that we should, in order to be able to remove any blockages in this area of the beliefs you are focusing on, is to remember that we need to connect with heaven and Mother Earth to bring harmony to ourselves, and nothing will bother us. In the past few weeks, I've been kind of a little bit bothered a little, and at the same time, you know, as a human being, I forget that I have what I have. Master Shah has given us what he has given us. And instead of focusing on using the treasures, sometimes I go in my mind. And this truly came at the perfect time, because even before the class, I'm in the donor field, in the Love, Peace, Harmony donor field, chanting and tracing. That's what I've been doing. And this just came like to balance and complete that. Also, it's almost like confirmation from heaven saying, you're doing the right thing, you're in the right path, keep doing it. So as you were giving the blessing, I was doing a forgiveness. I was just chanting Dark Quan Chu, so that my blockages can be removed a little faster or as appropriate, so that the blessing can actually come in with its at its highest power possible. Thank you for that blessing. Thank you so much, Terry. Love you.
Wonderful, wonderful. I was, it's really interesting. Every once in a while, somebody will post a right, perfect, absolute correct number. And Loveness has done that twice recently. It's like, okay, heaven wants to help. So let's see, Gloria said that the flash carried a lot of heat, and she saw 5 comets shooting to the recipients. And Maria Luisa, I used to do that too, and so did Master Roger, my mentor. He told me once, he says, Terry, I can't eat anything. I better not even drink anything like a glass of water 2 hours before I broadcast, because I just burp all the time. And Maria Luisa was saying it most of the time she releases through burping. And she was burping and burping through the blessing. So Gloria has posted, I did see your post there. I can't keep up with the posts and look into the camera too. But I did see that Gloria would like to receive this. And if anyone else would, Holly, can you post the honoring information?
Sure, I'll post it right now.
Thank you. I have to look through my notes to remember what it is, because I was doing 3 things today. Okay, right. So it's $75 for both of them together, not each. And that's US dollars, but there's country discounts. So if you live in India, Mexico, Central America, South America, the Caribbean islands, then it's 50% off. Australia and Canada, I couldn't do a percentage that made sense. So it's like $52.50 US dollars instead of 75 US dollars. So if anyone would like to receive, just put your name in the chat room, and let's see. Right, Holly has posted my my PayPal address, which is my email address. Oh, and that's the other thing. I got that these, I should make these available for a week. So if you would like to receive this pair, and remember, they don't come separately. They have to come together. And the reason is, I got a real clear image of it yesterday. If we only got the awareness, we might go on a detour. We might give up. It's like, well, you know, I can't fix that, and quit. Whatever it was we were trying to do. So the second part of it is to allow the beliefs to shift more easily. Now, here's another part of when we want to change. As soon as we make a big commitment to change, it's like heaven is behind us. We have support. I've begun to notice that more in my own life, and you know, I've had some just incredible karma. So I'm not going to speak about any of my clients because a couple of you are on here, but well, I'll tell you, when people start to shift, when they go, okay, I'm not putting up with this anymore, then it's like, okay, let's help them. All right, so Gloria, I haven't seen anybody else. And if my support team has heard of anybody else, oh, hi, Kathy. We can't hear you, but you joined afterwards, so you may not know what's going on. So these are two Dow Hands blessings. One, it's two parts of it comes together. So one is to become more aware of unconscious beliefs. Those are the ones, you know, everybody else might know about, but we don't. And then the second part is a blessing, and these are Tao Healing Hands blessings. And I've got, let's see, 6 levels of it, of the Tao, first Divine Healing Hands and then Tao Hands. So whichever ones are most appropriate, sometimes they'll come. The other day, somebody got 2 of the Divine Healing Hands blessings because it was like doing foundation work, and then 1 up at a higher level. Anyway, if Gloria has already said, and I don't see anybody else, so Gloria, you know how to receive. If I can pay by, okay, yes, you can, Sandy. Just send me an email. Well, you've got my email. I have to send you my Zelle address, I think. No, we'll figure it out. So yes. Okay, so Gloria and Sandy. So again, if you close your eyes, and you know, you can use what Master Sha calls body power. You can put one hand on the heart chakra and the other one just below the navel, almost but not quite touching the body. Thank you, Gloria. And then imagine that you're a planet circling our sun. Now you can be as close, what's the closest one? Mercury? Nothing lives there that would live on Earth, too hot. Or you can be Pluto or Uranus, or the one that they've decided is not a planet anymore, way, way out there. Just know, and everyone else that's here, here's the good news. You're going to get another flash. So I'm going to, this is another 1.5 blessing. Good, it's still here. On my phone, so I know what to do. So let me connect with my Tao Healing Hands transmissions as appropriate. Please offer these blessings to both of these. And your desire, your passion, for those of you that are not receiving directly, your desire, your passion will open your heart more. The more open the heart is, the more connected you are. All right, blessing begins. Wow. if your eyes were closed, you didn't see my body jerk, but that's always when there's more energy going through than my body was prepared for. This is what in Master Sha's teachings is called Tao Song. Soul song, Tao song, and it's spontaneous. A lot of times it just erupts. Like that one was. I hadn't planned on that. For some reason, there's more light than there was the first blessing. And what I received was that's because people have their hearts open further than before. Wonderful. Hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, ah, yo. La, ya, 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 hey. How blessing ends. Oh, excuse me. Oh, boy. So that was a release in me. So Gloria, I know how open your channels are. Gloria, if I can tell a little short story, in 2008, I was told I was dying by the doctors that I was working with. And I'd run across Master Sha on his first webcast from Atlanta, Georgia. And I love those accents. And I decided to go to his 11-day long, whatever, I don't even remember the name now, but it was two retreats rolled in one, but I just knew intuition that it was going to make a difference, and it sure did. But I could barely function. And Gloria used to be emergency room nurse, I think it was, and more. And she just picked up on me right away, and she came over and guided me around at least one time. I'm not sure. She walked me all the way down to my room because I think she probably figured out I wouldn't make it or wouldn't know which was my room. So Gloria, would you share your experience? So she's also caring for someone who needs significant care, and she may be away. So Sandy, would you like to share? You're still muted. There you go.
Well, this is my first experience with a blessing from you in this setting. And I just felt peace.
Wonderful.
Just Pete, I don't know what else I could say about it. It's just.
Don't have to say anything else. Thank you. Would
Thank you.
anyone else like to share? I know yawning happens also. And my eyes will tear every once in a while when somebody else is receiving the blessing, because I'm receiving the flash, something shifted in me. Yeah. So I have good news for everyone. There's another demonstration. Yeah. Linda's clapping her hands. There's two more Tao Healing Hands blessings. For those of you who know Jimena Govino, when she was in Hawaii to train the people there, she did a workshop where she offered it was a hero workshop. She offered hero's heart and hero's courage. And tonight, my guidance was these are standalone blessings. And it's a completely different kind of a blessing in a sense. What does it mean to receive the hero's heart? So in the myth, if you've read anything about Joseph Campbell, there's like 21 steps in hero journey in the different writings, because he analyzed them. You can go to Wikipedia and put in myth or mystical journey, something like that. I forget what I put in now. And just put in Joseph Campbell and go through there. It's just fascinating because it told me where my blockages were. I was unconsciously incompetent about the hero's journey. Many parts of it. Some I knew, some I had no clue. So the hero has to have heart. What does that mean? There are things that we can look at how many of you, if you can reach down in the bottom where it says reactions, there's this thing here and you can pick any one of them you want, but you can put a thumbs up thing like it's flashing on my screen right now, or anyone else. And here's a question. Have you ever read a do-it-yourself book? Am I the only one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The heck,
Hundreds
yeah,
of them.
there we go. There's some hands coming up. Yeah. And me and Paula and probably others, back more than 15 years ago, when we could work on our own cars without a computer, there was the Chilton Guide to, you name it, every vehicle out there. I won't go into that story. I could talk cars for hours. I won't. But the hero's heart. And that's a good point. I reset the points in my distributor, which is what sends the spark to each of the 4 cylinders of, that was a Triumph TR4 250, not the 250, TR4 IRS back in 1964. I adjusted it because it just stopped running one day. And I had just read something and I thought, well, open the hood and take the top off the distributor cap. And there's a little button inside. Only car I've ever seen that had a little button inside under the hood where you push it, it'll make the starter turn if you don't have it in gear. And it'll turn the rotor in the distributor, and you want to see the little thing open and close the points. It didn't. So I went, aha. So I put it where it should be open. And I said I had a screwdriver and a matchbook in the glove compartment. That was all. But the article I had read was the thickness of a matchbook cover is around 35 thousandths of an inch. And that's in the range of how much you want on those older cars. You want your points to open. You had to have a screwdriver to lock it because it had vibrated loose. So and when I had done that, I put the cap back on the distributor. I closed the hood because I didn't leave it open. I closed the hood and I got back in the car to start it. Why did I close the hood? Because if that didn't work, that's all the knowledge I had. I'm going to have to call the tow truck. I turned the key. Started right like that. I felt like Superman, the power to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Yeah. So hero's heart. Anymore, let's stay with the cars for one more moment. Anymore, you can't do that because we don't have a distributor in our cars anymore. We have electronic stuff and it takes a computer. So if you tried to do something with a do-it-yourself book and couldn't, it's because there wasn't enough information or you couldn't grok it. That's an old science fiction term. You couldn't get it from the book, from the do-it-yourself, or the videos. I love some of the YouTube videos out there. Man, they get me through a lot of stuff. So what if you've got something that's bigger than you are? Your hero's journey is bigger than you are. In every myth out there, they had a guide or a guru or someone who advised them. So I'm putting together a program where I'm going to be the guide for people to go on their hero's journey. I've done it before, but now I'm going to make it into an actual program. So how does that relate to computers and setting your own points and Hero's Heart? Hero's Heart is not a do-it-yourself program. Or you may do, it's like, you know, you're climbing a mountain. You may be able to go up 1,000 or 2,000 feet by yourself. Or if you're climbing Mount Everest, did you know that nobody has ever climbed Mount Everest by themselves? You can't. You have Sherpas, you have people setting up supply dumps. Well, we won't call them a dump, setting up supplies at different points up the mountain. When you get fairly near the top, it's like what, 14,000 square feet high. When you get above 10,000 square feet, you have to breathe oxygen. If you want to research this, look up the Sherpa, the size of the chest of a Sherpa. Those are the people in India that live in the high elevations. Their chests are huge. Their lungs are huge. Why? The air is so thin. It's a survival mechanism. It didn't happen after they were born. They genetically, their ancestors developed the ability to live at the higher altitudes. So when you go on a hero's journey, if there's something that you want to do, you really want to do it. You've tried to do it. A little bit about myself. I tried for 6 years and spent over $10,000 and could not put this project together that I'm working on. And now, I got it right here. I am rocking and rolling. I'm going through blockages. Why? Because, like if we were talking about cars, I found somebody who had a computer that could set my points. And I also got some transmissions, some blessings. So this is a blessing for Hero's Heart. Now there's one that goes along with it, separate. I'm not going to do a demo on that one because, yeah, time constraints. And also virtue, yeah. So the second one is Hero's Courage. There is a third one that my guidance was not even to offer it tonight. It's called Hero's Insight, but that's for advanced students. So tonight we're going to do a demo. I'm going to offer Dao-Han's demo for Hero's Heart, because going back to that first set of blessings for becoming more aware of unconscious beliefs and then allowing those beliefs to shift more easily, well, you have to have awareness. And so you will have awareness. So if, and thank you, Holly, or Paula posted the list. Thank you, Paula. Maria Luisa is going, yay. So I invite you to choose a number. I got to choose another one before you think anything. There. Okay, there's a number. You can't see it because it's on the other side of this. So pick a number. I'm going to change it up. Since there's only 24 of us here, pick a number between 1. This may mean more chance for 2 people to be the closest and receive the blessing. For example, if the number was 50 and somebody had 48 and somebody else had 52, both of you would receive it. So I'll give you a clue. The number is not 50. So you only have 74 numbers to choose from. a number between 1 and 75. Don't pick 50. Look at those numbers roll in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, woo, 7. Is that all? The rest of you not interested now? There's one more. Now they're starting to roll. Sometimes, you know, if you went out to the kitchen to get a glass of water and you come back, what are they posting all these numbers for? Let me put one in there. So I'm watching them. Okay, I'm going to give 1 more minute. If you aren't able to put your number in, speak it out loud. Now, write it down. Would you? And if you
38,
hello,
38.
Anthea says 38. Got it.
18,
Who dat?
Kathy.
Kathy Robinson. Great. Couldn't see. 18. Okay.
Helen
Anybody?
Chan has number 30,
Helen was what?
number 38 that someone just said.
38 was Anthea. And did I
38
hear?
was Helen Chan in the chat.
And what was Helen's number?
38, so it was already taken.
Well, that's okay. We can give, you know, 2 at once. That's happened before. Gloria didn't hear what we just said. Oh, but I think she just did now. Got it. So Gloria, did you post a number?
Yes, 24.
Okay, great. All right, so.
Please check
yeah,
the chat because a lot of people are posting.
right. All right, so it looks like it's been stable for a while. So let me read my number, 14. So if you'll all check there. Kathy's pretty close with 8.
13.
Pardon?
I got 13.
Wow. Congratulations. Is anybody any closer to 14 than 13? Hearing no answer. Congratulations, Eggard. All right, so if you dialed in late, remember that, I'm sorry, did somebody speak up?
That was me. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So are you able to show, turn your camera on? You don't have to.
My camera for my laptop is not working properly.
No worries. No worries. I see where you are.
Well,
All right.
that's my, you know, you talked about my ancestors by people who lived in the mountains. Well,
Yes.
my ancestors came from very high.
13,000 feet.
Yeah,
Wow.
my mother's family or my family lived above 4,000 meters, which is about 30,000 feet.
That's amazing.
In the Andes in Peru. So, and
Wow.
actually, that flag right there, you see that flag is from my from Cusco. That's the Cusco flag. That's the flag of the civilization from before. So if you see, it's a rainbow. So which resonates with love, peace, and harmony.
Yes. Thank you. All right. So Edgard and everyone else, remember, you can receive the flash. So I'll give the blessing from my down hands, but if you close your eyes and put one hand on your heart chakra and one hand below your waist, that will give you the best ability to receive. And one recipient, turning on my Tao hands. So this is a Tao healing hands blessing from whichever or as many levels is appropriate. I don't know, the Tao knows. For heaven's heart, a hero's heart blessing for Edgar. Everyone else can receive the flash. I better remember to set my stopwatch again. Turn on my Tao hands. Blessing begins. What I'm seeing is like the pulsations. I've seen images of a radio signal being sent out. It's very interesting. I've never seen this like this before. It's pulsing, and they're going in different directions and different. Some of them are lighter, brighter, and bigger than others. So everyone is receiving whatever they're open to receive. And with Edgar, what I'm seeing is like the light is just coming from up above him, the way I'm seeing it, and coming right down into his crown chakra. And it's primarily gold, but there's some other colors also, violet, and clear up into incandescent. How blessing begins, blessing ends. Oh, whoa. So Egard, congratulations.
I'm so honored. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. This is a truly.
So would you like a reading?
Sure, thank you.
I'm hearing if there's a reason that you received this.
Yes.
That is correct. There is always a reason when someone is chosen for a demonstration blessing. It is because heaven has seen their heart's desire, and it is strong enough that heaven has responded. Edgar, this can accelerate your journey and will certainly change your life as you allow. Heaven has given you 50%. Tien Ren Gaban. Heaven 50%, human 50%. So your practice, your awareness of what Terry spoke of as the 5 steps for change. Become aware or more aware. Commit. Work. Examine the tools. When you get something to the point where you believe it's working, remember to reassess. Do a course correction if necessary. You have received an empowerment that you can increase. I'm not getting the flow now. My mind got in the way. What I'm seeing is the possibility is for your hero's heart to increase. Yeah, which gives you more potential. So if anyone would like to receive this for themselves, because there's a lot more than the flash if you do, then if you want to speak up or post into the chat room, either way. I'm also curious, what those, there's some of you here that have a lot of awareness. When Edgar received this, what was your awareness? Who'd like to share?
Hi, Terry.
Hello,
It's
thank you, Helen.
Hi. Thank you so much for hosting this beautiful session. I'm very honored to be here. I'm very honored to be here. I just wanted to say I saw a lot of light go to the heart, and it was like little lightning flashes when the blessing was taking place, the Tao Hands blessing for Edgar. I'm very happy for you, by the way. Congratulations, Edgar. And, it was interesting when you said, there was pounding going on in the heart. I literally felt it. My heart was thumping, thumping, thumping. So I know I received the splash, but I can't imagine how powerful it was for Edgar. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Helen. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Would anyone else like to share?
Terry.
Hello, Michaela.
Hi, Terry. This is Michaela. I don't know I came in late. I went out on a meeting with a friend. But I received I'm not sure if you offer this as a demo. I'm in the car right now. I just arriving and tuning in. And I received a blessing from Terry yesterday. I believe it was releasing negative beliefs. Was it, Terry?
It was those first two that were offered, and yes.
Yes. And, I was experiencing some pain in my abdomen. And, I had not requested for my abdomen. I was just allowing the blessing to come through. And when it came through, I instantly felt a relief, this calmness, this peaceful in my abdomen. I was feeling some sort of bloating. I was feeling some discomfort in my abdomen. And after Terry's, I went to bed. I slept like a baby. So I'm so grateful, Terry. That was very powerful blessing that you gave me. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. So if anyone would like to receive the, one more option, Edgar. Wonderful. Wonderful. You can all read it in the chat room if you want to. So if you would like to receive this, or if you've decided that you would like to receive the first pair of blessings, or if you would like to receive Hero's Courage. So this was Hero's Heart. And Hero's Courage, I received 2 levels of both Hero's Heart, Hero's Courage, and Hero's Insight. They're all 3 so different, and I don't know how to put them into words, because it's something that happens inside of me, and I know it's going on, but I really don't know how to quantify it or describe it. But if you would like to receive the pair, you can do that tonight. The blessing to become more aware of unconscious beliefs, and also to allow those beliefs to shift more easily. if anybody would like to, I know that everybody that's here would love to receive more flash. And then if you would like to receive Hero's Heart or Hero's Courage, if you want to receive them both, there's a buy one, get the second one significant discount. So it's $75 for Hero's Heart or Hero's Courage, but both of them is $110. That's US dollars, and the country discounts apply. So it's 50% off for all the ones I named before. And except for in Australia and Canada, $52.50 for one and $77 US for both. So not hearing anybody raise their hand or speak up, I want to thank you all for coming tonight. I love to teach, to share. And this was, it's been 3 months since I could speak because I had what was the doctors would say, well, we think you have long COVID because it just, I just couldn't hardly do anything for 2.5 months. And then, and I'm really grateful that my throat, usually by this time of night, my voice is getting, oh God, really, I can't talk, but it's still working pretty good. So thank you all for coming. Do we know who is going to be next Friday night's Tao Healing Evening leader? Not hearing. It means that we haven't figured it out yet, or nobody has said, okay, me. So
We are not sure yet, Terry, but I know that Loveness has volunteered. So if we are all clear and no one else has already taken that spot, it will be Loveness next week.
and she will have more power than she did 2 hours ago. All right. So thank you all for coming. And we'll see you somewhere another time. Aloha from Portland, Oregon.
Terry,
I'm sorry, Edgar, go ahead.
for the Hero's Courage, are you giving that now or?
Say again.
I received the first one, right?
Yes, you had Hero's Heart.
And how about the other one? Are you doing it now or?
Would you like Hero's Courage also?
Yes, that'll kind of. I have
So you're in Canada, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in Canada.
So it would be $52.50 US dollars.
Okay, so can I get it now? Or do I have to wait during the week or?
I can send this right now. Everybody that's still here would love to receive another flash.
Because I have another 5 minutes before I gotta go put my kids to sleep.
Okay, I'll send you a 1.5-minute blessing.
And it's important because the full moon's coming up. And when you told me to think of a planet, I thought of the moon actually. So it was really powerful. So.
All right, so I invite all of you again to open your hearts. You can put a hand on your heart chakra, close your eyes, and imagine that you are a moon or a planet, and you're going to receive the flash, the sunlight coming to you. And so I'm turning on my Tao hands and asking them to send, this is Hero's Courage, to Edgar. Blessing begins. Boy, am I ever glad that you got this one. It's it's as powerful as the other one was. Wow. Congratulations, whatever it is that you're going to be doing. Senai la hikamau na sheo. These sounds are, they're tied to the energies that you're receiving. I can't tell more than that, but the purity of some of them surprised me because I've had this gravelly voice for 3 months, and the strength, the power, wow. How, thank you, thank you, thank you. So blessing ends. Wow. So congratulations to everyone who received the flash. And Edgar, what was your experience?
My crown chakra just lit up, and just my crown chakra just lit up, and the whole felt all this energy going down through my chi channel and through all my chakras. So I'm filled with a lot of light now, and
it was so powerful that I'm slightly dizzy, which is unusual. Wow.
well,
So I know you have to go pick a child up. So
yeah, I have to go up to, well, we're going to say prayers now for before they go to bed. We always say prayers before they go to bed. So I just wanted to let you know that during the last week, during the soul working calls with Master Shah and the Dalhini group hands and everything, I've asked the blessings to be for my spiritual journey to serve humanity. So I guess this is the culmination of all that, what I was asking. So I guess now Tao, Source, and the Divine have now guided me to this right here to come in. And I was rushing, actually, I never knew about this, and I was rushing from a funeral service that we went to join the Chai Warren Jake tonight. And he told me that you had to rush into this session. So I rushed in too, because I had a feeling that this was going to be very powerful and there was something waiting for me. So that was what my heart told me. So I'm honored, I'm grateful. And I cannot thank you enough, Terry. That was so
happy for you, Edgar. Congratulations twice.
Happy birthday to me. Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you.
So every once in a while, I'm aware that something that comes through, not just me, but other people too, is like, wow, that was not unique to them. Actually, it is unique because whatever comes to any one of us is unique to us. We're all different. None of us, even identical twins, are exactly the same. I was surprised to read that a couple of years ago. It's like, what? So this was very special. All of these are special. And sometimes we'll see something that just lights up the whole landscape. So I'm glad that you all were here to witness it and receive, and all the different levels you did receive. And I just want to again thank Vanita, Holly, Paula, Sharon, for in the background work that you do. It would not be easy. It would not be as smooth as it is without the support of these 3 or 4, sometimes only 2, because they've got lives and family. So I'm just very grateful. And with that, I'll say adios, sayonara, ciao. How would you say see you later in Mandarin?
Gong Song. Terry may also have an announcement. I don't know if you have consulted yet.
Please do.
Okay, so we started about 4 or 5 months ago a monthly gathering for the Love, Peace, Harmony field representatives for the Pacific Northwest, but everyone else is invited. And during that time, it's 1 hour Love, Peace, and Harmony, and we also do 1 hour, sometimes a little longer, maybe like 1 hour, 20, 30 minutes of Dabe Shwe. And I know that usually it happens right as Amy and the other and Deb are doing the other Dabe Shwe as they are about to finish. So I'm inviting you all to join Sunday, February 5th for the Pacific Northwest Love, Peace, Harmony field representative gathering, where everyone else who's not a field representative is invited. And then after that, everyone bring your water. We chant the Dabe Shwe to bless the water. Even if you were chanting on the other side, over here, we don't have many people yet. So if you love to chant the Dabe Jo, please come and chant as many times as you can. Thank you so much. I'll be posting that soon. You will see it in the messages. Thank you and love you.
Loveness, this is open to the public?
It's open to the public, yes.
Wonderful. So everyone here, if you're not in the Dow Portland community, if you don't receive if you're not in the Signal group where you get the community emails, then you can send me an email and I'll make sure you get an invite so you can join. My email address, you've seen it, but I'll say it again. It's like my name spelled on the screen, Terry McGill, no dot, at Comcast.net. That's the only .net. And that's February. Well, that's coming right up. That's this is Friday, yes, day after tomorrow. Good. Something to look for on Sunday. So until then, or the next time we meet, I'm Terry McGill, and wherever you are in the world, is the Love, Peace, Harmony Pacific Northwest group different from the Pacific group? I don't know. Send an email to Loveness or send it to me and I'll forward it. Okay.
It is the Pacific. It used to be Pacific Northwest. Now it's Pacific. Please forgive me. Yeah, just Pacific.
Okay. So forget the Northwest part. It's the Love, Peace, Harmony Pacific group. Super. All right. Good night. Good day. Good morning, wherever you are in the world.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Love you.
Thank you. Thank you.